Hello, so this is us solving equations using addition or subtraction. This is the formal 6-line process so that students will understand completely about how to solve the equations. There are 2 different papers on the table. You need to pick up both different pieces of paper, and we're going to be just working on the top of page 46 today. It's solving using addition and subtraction, so we've labeled up our page 46 with a little bit of notation. This is a vertical flow map. You need to follow the 4 steps in order. First step, draw a straight line to separate the equation into a left side and a right side. You're going to draw that straight line on the equal sign. So if we had the equation n plus 5 equals 12, you're going to draw a straight line down the equal sign. Number 2, undo any addition or subtraction by performing the inverse operation to both sides of the equation. Well, the opposite of adding is subtracting, and the opposite of subtracting is adding. So the inverse, if they were adding 5, is going to be to subtract 5. Now some students might have a little bit of trouble piecing together what thing they're supposed to do. So what I like to think is this line is like a wall. You cover up anything on the opposite side, and that way you can really see the variable and see exactly what's happening to the variable and undo that thing. So we're going to undo adding 5 by subtracting 5, and that's going to go on line 2. But just like with this balance, like we showed in class, if you subtract 5 from one side, it won't be equal anymore. We need it to stay an equation, so we're going to subtract 5 on both sides. Now we have an analogy that we're going to get to later that talks about stacking these type of problems. And after you undo addition and subtraction, there's a long horizontal line. We're going to call that frosting, because later on when we do the steps in 2-step equation solving, or more than that, there are layers, and you have to always undo addition and subtraction first. Last line, you're going to bring the n down. The positive 5 and the negative 5 cancel each other out. They're a 0 pair, so you're left with just the n. And then the other side you solve. 12 minus 5 equals 7. That's the line that says give your solution statement. So let's show all of that. The next part is the check. The check is also 3 lines. It says check your solution by substituting it back into the original equation. So the first line of the check is the question again. You're going to have a quiz on Thursday on this, and you're going to get a point for copying the question again as your first line of the check. Next it says simplify both sides to determine if they are equal. Remember, the numbers on both sides of the equal sign must match for the number to be the equation's solution. So, the must match is pretty cool, but remember that you're checking to see the number that you had up above, the n equals 7, if it's for real, if it does work, if it is a solution for n. So what you're going to do is you're going to plug in the 7 where the n was, and you're going to put a baby question mark on top of the equal sign. Everything else stays the same. The plus, the 5, the equal sign, and the 12. Only thing that changed was the 7 turns into what you think it is, substituting in. And we're not sure yet, and we never lie in math, so we put a baby question mark. Now it's time to do the math. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 equals 12. Check. We've never used a check mark in my class before this, because this is what a check mark means to me. It means good job, you verified that your answer is right. It doesn't mean the new answer is now 12. The answer is still 7. n equals 7. You just checked it out to make sure that it fit in the equation. Okay, let's go on and do the same type of problem with subtracting. We're going to need to not show all of the paper, so we're going to cheat this over. Next equation is 18 equals c minus 2. 18 equals c minus 2. If they give you the variable on the opposite side, leave it there. It's a better habit. Then we're going to follow the steps. You guys follow the steps along as I'm reading them aloud. Draw a straight line to separate the equation into a left and a right side. Equal sign on the line. Next, undo any addition or subtraction by performing the inverse operation to both sides of the equation. Well, I can see that if I cover the 18, they're subtracting 2. So I'm going to add 2 on both sides. Next, I'm going to long line across. The nickname that we have for this is the frosting. No extra clicks or sounds, please. Thank you. And the last is give your solution statement. So we have the equal sign on the line. 18 plus 2 is 20. 20 equals C is the solution statement. Now for the check, the first line of the check is the question. 18 equals C minus 2. Second line of the check, you're going to substitute in the 20 and the baby question mark. But everything else stays the same. 18 equals 20 minus 2. 20 minus 2 does equal 18. 18 equals 18. Check. Now you'll know that you did it right if you have 4 of the same number making an L pattern or a backwards L pattern with a check mark. This is called the reflexive property. It's like your reflection in a mirror. This is reflecting this, this is reflecting this. If you know both sides are equal to each other, you know you did it right. And that's page 46.